Today, we are acknowledging the positive roles of men and boys in our families, in our communities, in our workplace. And I have two amazing men with me, and we are just going to be having a conversation and celebrating their experiences as men. So they are going to introduce themselves and they are going to tell us one man that inspired them and the experience that they had with the men that actually inspired them to become the man that they are today. So I'm going to be starting from my right hand side. Even though I know him, but you guys don't. And I'll just let him do the job.
Okay, my name is William Sukonko. I'm a trainer for Clarion College, and it's nice being
Thank you
here.
for doing this with us.
All right, so yes, I've had lots of male figures who inspired me, and who has inspired me to actually be what I am today. I think the very first person, the first man a child ever knows is the dad, the father, and then for me, being the first son in my family, and the first relationship I ever had with that of my father. My father is actually a very wonderful man. I'm not here to gloat, by the way.
Please give fathers their
Yeah,
flowers.
so
That's what I hear.
I think one of the qualities I actually admire in him is his resilience. Despite the challenges he actually also had at that particular time, trying to cater for a family of six. I had lots of challenges, but then he still kept going, knew what he actually also wanted, and I love that of him. And then, yes, I was able to actually also go to school, and then ended up actually loving a particular lecturer who happened to also be my supervisor, my project supervisor precisely. His name is actually Mr. Moses. He inspired me. In fact, I love the way he actually taught. I never wanted to be a teacher or instructor in the first place. But at the end of the day, I saw his zeal. He was a young man too. And then because of his commitment to education, I saw him actually rise from just being a teacher trainee to now leading a particular department. And so that's also one of the reasons I actually also chose to become a trainer at the end of the day. And so these are two great men, amongst others. In fact, another person I would want to also speak of is our boss, Mr. Ogo. He's actually also someone who also inspires me. His entrepreneurial mindset, his ability to actually also take a risk is one thing that also inspired me. I tell him all the time that I want to be an entrepreneur like him. I want to also be able to take risk. I hope I don't get to actually also spend all my money taking risks. All right, so yes, these and many others are just a wonderful men in my life that had inspired me and they still inspire me to date.
Over to you.
So my name is Timlulu Adebayo from the Department of Customer Service and Admin. Okay, so talking about uh, my male figure that inspired me, I would just say the number one male figure will be my dad. Even though right from the onset, we actually did not get along, but lately, at least
I'm going to get to that.
when I when I was growing up, and at least adulthood makes me understand the struggle, and at the same time I get to understand, I had to see the clearer picture of what I was not able to see then. So, and because I came from the background where you have your freedom from the early,
Hello.
yeah, so I have my freedom. I was able to do as I like. So I was able to, but I had to.
Anybody don't do anyhow.
That's my point, though. So I was able to channel my freedom to being an entrepreneur. So I ventured into a lot of work, trying to feed for myself. So the second person I would say is my brother. Was actually not my blood brother, just like my street brother, but along the line we,
You go and go.
yes, that's the word. So it's actually the one that I look up to some extent. So even for my the kind of energy I have when it comes to business, when it comes to making money, pushing myself forward, I got that from him. I learned that from him. So, because he's into a lot of business, and this kind of business idea is kind of weird to some extent. And sometimes I would just feel like, Jesus, is this person even?
This is a human being.
Because he can do
He also
any
takes
like
risks.
a lot of risk. Yes, a lot of risk, and that risk, me, I do not have that. I don't have that lever to follow that, but to some extent, I'm able to emulate some part of his energy, though. So, and yeah, that's the second person that I would say
It's
inspired me.
it's funny how we have two generations of men, two different generations. But you guys have one thing in common. People are not taking risk. You know what's going on?
Well, I don't
You
know.
don't want to take risk,
Nah, nah.
but you want to make money.
Yes, you can make money without risk now.
I don't think there's anybody that wakes up in the morning. Waking up is a risk.
Yes, it is
Okay.
actually.
So I don't think there's anything in this life that we do that is not risky. It's just that they are calculated risk, and there are some risks that I don't even advise anybody taking.
But some risks are minimal, while some are
Of course,
to some large extent.
yes, of
So
course,
I
of course.
think myself, I still do take some minimal
Risk.
risk, though.
But Mr. Williams, don't take risk.
No, no, I do actually. So just that my risk tolerance is actually very low, very, very low. And
On a
so
scale of 100,
on
what
a
does
scale of 120,
20?
so it's actually very low,
I
really.
think you for you 50.
Yeah. My own I can still measure my own up to that 50%, because some kind of risk, though, will lead to will be successful, though.
Yes.
But some, you cry, but at the end of the day, as a man, you still pick yourself up and
I like playing it safe.
Okay,
go.
so this is not a gender war, but as a woman, I feel like my risk tolerance is about 100,
Are you
because
serious?
I believe that for every time I make a mistake,
You
I
learn
always
from
pick
it.
up lessons from it, and it used to propel me to like on to the next step. So that's my one advice
Okay,
from the opposite gender to you, gentlemen.
taking.
Let's learn to take risks.
Just do you.
Oh, cheap. So we are just going to move to the conversation around the theme of International Men's Day of this year, celebrating men and boys. We understand that in this part of the world, men have been boxed into different things. Men has come in 24 hours, use 23 hours to scare men. Men are wicked people. In fact, Yoruba men, the Femis and the Tobis, we have already categorized them into a particular. We are a very stereotypical country. I'm going to use Nigeria because we are Nigerians.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go outside Nigeria. But from our experience, but we are happy that this year they have decided to celebrate men for who they really are. Because at the end of the day, out of 100, you definitely have one Judas. But that doesn't mean that we have to castigate the other
99.
99.
Yeah.
So we are excited that this year we are celebrating men and boys, and because of this cause, I'm going to be asking, like, what do you value most about being a man? Tell do you want to go first?
Okay. Valued most about being a man is, uh, let me just say, I don't know the right word to, maybe the struggle part of it.
Hmm.
Yes, because the fact that I need to look for ways to
Fend for
fend for
yourself.
myself without anybody's
Impute or
input on it.
anything.
So I think that gives the purpose of being a man. When I was still in secondary school, I still have to go for this catering job,
Wow,
and
that's nice.
That's a man.
happens to be
As a man,
Hmm.
that's a lot. You see what we say.
for me to
You
be able
see,
to,
men are
to
trying.
buy Android phone, sorry, phone, mobile phone. Then that time, Multilinks. Then I had to go for catering job for me to be able to buy that phone. Then I think then it was like maybe 5,000 naira or so. I know
Wow.
how many catering job I had to
Do to
do
get that
before I
money.
was able to get that money. And along the line, I get used to that kind of life and that mindset. Agreeing to that, and it keeps me going, though. It keeps me going.
So at the end of the day, you just value the fact that you can own up to situations,
Yes,
own up to things, and you can actually stand up for yourself and
exactly.
do things for yourself. That's nice. Mr. Williams.
Well, I think I would want to actually comment on the team first. So, you said it's celebrating
Men
men
and
and boys.
boys.
Okay. It's something for a change, actually.
Yes.
Generally, they say that women are loved unconditionally. Even animals and pets are actually loved unconditionally. But men, nobody they love us until, until you have something
God
you actually
loves you.
provided.
That's
God
true.
If
loves
you are
you.
not providing anything, you are actually
But
not loved. That's the truth. There's a limit to the kind of love you get to actually also receive from individuals and people around. So it's something for a change. And then, well, yes, to the question as to what I value, right,
a
Yes.
man,
as a man, well, the fact that I can actually also be calling the shot and taking the lead, you know. Okay, so not in the bossy kind of way, but the fact that you can actually also take a decision and then the decision can stand because it's you,
It's
because you are
you
the one
because
that
you're
just
the
said
man.
it. And the decision will actually also have to stand. Yes, so that's that. I think that's one thing I value as a man. Yeah,
That's amazing. There's always just this joy that comes with power.
yeah, being able to
And
make
to
decision,
be
no?
honest, I feel like for the most part of my teenage years, I understand to a fault what men go through. I understand the journey. I can relate to being a man, even though I'm not a man. But at least I can relate. There was a time I was a tomboy for a long period of time. I just started transitioning to the female when I got to the university, when it had to be done. So to that extent, I feel like I understand a little bit. And like you said, it is a good thing that this generation is trying to change things, trying to turn things, despite the things that we see on social media every day, despite all the negative things that have been attached to being a man, especially being a Nigerian man. Like you said, the struggle. Now we are seeing movements allowing men to be vulnerable. We are seeing movements telling men that they can cry, telling men that they can share, telling men that they can be who they want to be, even though I think that has led to some there's nothing good that doesn't have the bad side, because now
True.
we now have so many men trying to be feminine, all in the name of, oh, express yourself the way you want to be. I am not going to be going to that part here because I'm not here to judge anybody, but I am grateful that you guys understand the value. You know, you still respect that value of the kind of man that you are, and I know that these values are definitely what has kept you guys, standing up until now. And with this, I would want us to talk about the things that you think in today's world could make a man, be a role model. You went to a school, you got inspired by your professor, you got inspired from somebody that is not even blood related, because there were some qualities. Now, those qualities, do you think the qualities are still there today? And or what do you think these qualities, should be for a young boy that is coming up? What does he need to become that man that another boy will see and say, oh, I want to be like that man?
Actually, a lot. I remember back in school then, I had a family friend, and so they obviously lost their dad at the early stage, and then the family actually had two sons. The first one was the eldest, and then I think one of the sons was between the girls, and then the last girl. And so I was, I think I was in my ND1 or ND2. Okay, when the mom actually approached me and then told me that the second to the last girl was actually coming to my school, and then that's she had always admired me, admired the kind of person I was, and that she wants me to actually be a figure, a
A
father
father
figure.
figure, school
So,
father.
okay. Well, I felt good. Well, I felt very happy that somebody is actually seeing me in that light. And then the fact that I can actually set an example for not just another male, but another female to be able to actually protect her in school
Imagine.
in that kind of a setting. And so I think um, I've had an opportunity of actually also working with lots of upcoming males. I realize that currently a lot of people do not actually also want to take responsibility. I don't know. I think it's just what the societies are currently trying to
Is
breed. A lot of times people do not want to do things again any longer for themselves. In fact, yes, they want to do for themselves, but in terms of taking responsibility to do
for
for
others.
others, they do not want to actually also do that. And I think that for you to be able to actually become anybody's role model, for people to be able to actually also look up to you, you should be able to stand for something. You should understand that with being a man actually comes with a responsibility. In fact, a
Yes.
lot of them. And so, if you are unable to actually play your part, what is assigned to you, then I don't think you are a good example for anybody to actually also follow. So, yes, find something doing and then be very good at it, and you realize that you'll be able to actually also inspire any other person in that
Even
particular line.
subconsciously, you just find out
Yes,
that
very
people will
true.
just look up to you. Okay, so Temi, I'm going to talk about something very crucial, something that I'm going to do. I know you guys are from like I intentionally had this setting because I wanted the millennial and probably like the now I understand that in your days it is very difficult for a man to actually express themselves. But in this day and age, Sorosuke generation, do you think that the influence from their generation has actually affected that change in your generation, whereby we find men, middle-aged men or millennials, so to say, even boomers now coming out to actually speak for themselves and you know are open about how they feel.
Yes, I think the Gen Zs have actually influenced that a lot. Honestly, they have. Like you rightly pointed out, my generation, if you count in terms of witness in clothes,
You be weak,
honestly.
a weak man.
And then even your parents would actually be part of those that will spark you. So even if you're actually feeling all of the pain, you will realize that you tend to, or you have always been told to be stronger, so you tend to suck everything in while you are perishing inside.
But I think now it's good to see that, like you said, they are influencing the change. And Gen Z, what does it? How does it feel to be an agent of change? The fight to actually open up came with the frustrations of your generation seeing your parents or your dads. Like you said, growing up, you're not really close to your parents. Do you think those experiences just kind of stir up something and just led to that cause?
Actually, based on my own personality, I am actually a kind of person that doesn't speak out, regardless of my.
Finally, a Gen Z that doesn't
Yeah,
sorrow so
exactly. So,
record breaker. We go call Guinness, make dem come give am award.
so I actually don't speak up, and I can remember there was a time like that uh, I had an issue with my dad, so I got frustrated to the point that I just woke up that day and I picked up my phone and had to call him, and the only question I had to ask him is, "Are you my father?" Like, I remember I was so shocked to hear me say that because he he knows me to be this kind of person that even if I am pained,
You
if
be
I am going
quiet.
through it, I will be quiet and I will make sure I find solutions to it by myself, and I will have to go in situation
Feelings.
and be feeling like that. So, but I was so shocked that day, and he had to just calm me down, like it's not like that. He had to explain from his perspective, and later on as I was growing up and enter the adulthood,
Proper, proper.
proper, me sef come see say okay,
No
I
be
think
so, no be so e dey be.
let me say it because I was just carried away with my emotions at that moment, and with the fact that this is the
Gen Z
Gen
what?
Z world now.
There's a new generation, hope you know, Gen
Yeah,
Alpha and Co.
yeah.
Those
But
ones,
it's actually
they
nice
are
to
doing the
see.
most.
It's actually nice to see that we now have men, we now have youth that we like to speak up to fight for we what we want and what we don't want. It's actually nice uh, not since experience though, because I don't like myself.
You are trying
I'm
to
trying
change.
to
It
at
means that
least,
you are changing
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
It's actually a nice experience to see myself transitioning into that kind of life and
Person.
person.
How does it feel now that you are slightly opening up?
It's I actually feel like um, instead of me putting a lot of burden on myself, trying to sort it by myself,
You could also use
I
some help.
yes. So I speak up and I just have one or two friends. Like this is my brother that I made mention of. I can just call him. Yesterday we were even having a conversation yesterday. We spoke up to like 2 hours. So just trying to put some knowledge into me and trying to make use of some experience
Like
he
it's
had
hard.
and to make me see to that sense too. And I was able to ask him a lot of questions that I might not be able to ask anybody and I will not be able to get answers to it.
We are glad that there's always that person.
Yes.
And okay, I saw a men talk show last week that said that men are not supposed to talk to their friends. I didn't quite agree with that. I said you should rather talk to a therapist. What he has said now has just proven that one way or the other, a man needs another man. And I would also want to say that 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 person, the way it is for you, even if you had a sister, that sister cannot be that person. Now, talking about workplace, we understand that some of times men carry these emotions everywhere. Now, as organizations, there are things that they have to put in place to help the entire staff. But I feel like this is my opinion, and I want you guys to either agree with me or disagree. Aside the general things they need to put in place, I feel like there should be peculiar needs tailored to female and male in an organization. I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm not sure if every other person will agree because it's. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to prevent the clash that men have with some women in workplace because we've heard so many cases of men bullying women at the place of work. I don't know if you guys will agree with me on that.
Well, personally, I would say I'm trying to just think in my head how that would play out. But if something like that is there in the work, I think the only gender specific kind of treatment solutions actually have has to do with the restroom where you have the
Yeah,
female
female
and
and
female.
female.
But then when it comes to policies in organizations, it's actually the same across the board. Well, it's possible. I think it might be something that would actually,
Because I know that we're in a generation where we are preaching equity,
yeah,
but at the same time, we are not the same people. Men will always
yeah,
differ from women.
I agree. I totally agree.
Men will always differ
But
from women.
what I just feel like is that I think having a general rules or policy just to make everything like everybody in that particular organization equal.
Yeah,
Just not
Yes.
that's
have
kind
a
of process.
preferential treatment for okay, just female, male. I think that's just why we have a
Okay,
general.
so I want to also agree with this your school of thought really. I've been in a let me not call it an organization, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually called a zone. We call it a zone then. I've been in a zone where we had only male. And then you can actually tell that it's different the way things are actually done.
Wrong.
When we actually also come to meetings, usually we hold weekly meetings, hold quarterly meetings. When we come to meetings, then when it used to be just meals, it is serious business, like very serious. I actually noticed that our leader then, the way he treated us was entirely different. And so until I was moved from Lagos, then I went to Abeokuta where we had both
Female.
males and females. But I also noticed that the way the leader treated us became a little different. He was no longer as rigid as he used to be with us when it was just all
Because
men.
they were
And
females
now
in the
have
midst.
females, in fact, the entire scenario actually changed. So yes, and maybe to need to organizations might need to actually begin to think towards that direction. it could be benefit actually. I think it
Of
might
course.
also benefit
And
the
I
society.
think this was what inspired the whole maternity leave thing.
Yeah.
Even though the women still get more time, but I still feel like somehow
They all go through the entire challenge now. The man will still
together,
not sleep. Yeah.
together. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But as a provider, you still need to like go out and all of that. But
Sure.
but for some weird reasons, me, I'm just a solicitor for men basically. I know that some women might not agree with me, but anywhere there's good things for men, I'm just always rooting for men basically. And that's why I'm even doing this.
So
And
thank
I
you.
just and I feel like organizations should like just put things in place to support men really. Because if you see now, there's now a high record of women becoming more efficient at workplace than men. And this is because of the pressure.
Yeah.
Like you said, the leader was rigid to men and was a little bit, lenient for the why? We still need to extend grace to men. And we're all human beings too.
Sure.
And you have feelings. It's
Yeah,
not
sure.
you have blood flowing in your veins. And
Yes,
I
sure.
believe that all our emotions are since we are preaching equity, I feel like these lay down rules should actually apply. That's why I said men and women will constantly differ. And in my opinion, I just feel like okay, one way or the other, we need to like, have specific support basically for each gender. Now, what do you think organizations can do to support the mental health of men basically? I know that this is serious, and this is where I'm going to be wrapping up basically. Men are so important in the society that it is not fair that you are being neglected and being ignored, and you're being told that is a man is going to figure it out. Like you said in your experience that you just always had the way to figure it out, which is not supposed to be so. So now this is a workplace. What do you think that as an organization can be put in place, to support you, mentally? It might not be financially,
But that is important now.
but but emotionally, I don't know. I just want to hear
If that
from
one
you
is
guys.
added,
Why are you to say no?
to actually
To boost your morale.
actually. But ah,
I put together the spot. So okay. So if I say I want to support you one way or the other, just to create like a safe.
but you remove the financial problem.
Oh, so you now the only way I can support you,
Yes, so I think
So
that has been
that's been your drive.
yeah,
People and
as in
money.
I understand that money is actually very important, and I think I also understand that productivity has to do with the how productive rather an employee is has to do with the kind of environment that is provided for the employee. So understand that a lot of times the man in quotes is actually also required to do a lot of things. Just like you rightly stated, you will be able to be great as a man and
Yes.
all of those. And so I think that organizations can actually also begin to also understand our humans, just the way they also treat their ladies. And the HR will always tell you that she understands that as a woman, when you go home, you obviously have other things you need to actually focus on. But they believe that since you are the head of the home in
You don't
quotes,
have things to focus on.
once you leave here,
It's all over. You're going to enjoy.
and then to come back again.
And watch,
And
that
so,
our daddy in the parlor washing face.
and so they feel that when they actually also give you this heavy workload, you'll be able to actually also figure all of those out. But I think it also goes to burning out the man.
Yes.
If you have so much to do and you're actually invested in doing all of those, you don't have time for yourself any
Mm-hmm.
longer. And then you move from becoming that very productive
Productive.
person to becoming very less productive at the end of the day. So I think it should also be considered with the kind of jobs and then the volume of work they give to the man.
To the man, yes.
Yes.
Let it be equal. Since we are preaching equity,
Even if it's not that very much equal, but it should be slightly heavier than that
give
of
him
the man.
space to breathe.
Yes, there should be an opportunity for the man to actually also take time. Globally, they're actually also preaching work-life balance,
Yes,
ability
yes.
for employees generally to be able
Yes.
to actually also balance their personal life
And
and their
work life.
professional life.
Yes, yes.
And so, but I don't think it's actually very strong in Nigeria. The trading are public trading are
We are
just
coming up.
included.
We are coming up. We are coming up. We are coming up.
One of the serious concern these employees or these staffs actually have is that there's no they are just saying that there's no work life balance. There's nothing like work life balance. And that thing is one big story. Somebody's telling them and that you cannot actually also really truly separate your personal life from your professional
Because
life.
really, you are on leave and you are working.
it
It's wrong on all level.
is. It is.
It's weekend
It
and
is.
there was a funny this thing on Instagram where this challenge where CEOs ask their staff to say things they don't like about them. There were, I think, three of the guy staff said they don't like it when it takes them 12 a.m. in the morning, in the middle of the night. That he had all day to text them, and there were people in the comment section defending him that, oh, CEOs get creative at night. So me as a worker, I'm not creative.
No.
As an employee, am I not also be creative?
For like what you are saying, and the aspect of company
Helping
employing uh, they prefer employing
female,
Female employees rather than
than
the men.
men too. You actually there will be some roles that you feel like
You
as a
can,
man you cannot apply for that role
because you know you
because
won't
you
get
know you
it.
won't get it.
And I think that's not fair, by the way.
Exactly. So maybe that one too can be
considered.
considered too.
Men can also do these things too. Abi.
Yes, now
Shibi, you said he did catering job or
I
what
didn't
not.
know. I didn't know.
So he can.
I did.
He can also be,
I
and
didn't
he's an
know.
admin officer. So you can also, there are also men that can be good PAs,
But
good
you will see,
EAs.
but you will see some customer service position that are
Many of them are
females.
female.
Female.
It's female. Yeah, because there's just this aura. Okay, now
Talking about aura, like, have you seen my aura too?
aura for aura. That's what this is
Have you
about.
seen my aura too?
That's what this is
If
about.
you see me there, you know,
I understand.
you will even see most of my customers. I want to speak with Mr. Tammy.
Wow.
I don't
So
want to speak with Victoria.
wow, Victoria, shots fired.
Yes.
Apologies. This
So
is not me. Oh. This is also basically we are just saying that what is good for the goose is also good for the gander.
yeah.
And we just hope that moving forward, the world gets better. I mean, it's getting better, isn't it? It's getting better. We are actually starting to appreciate you people, you and the efforts that you put into, making this society a great place. So, any closing reflection?
Okay, so I quickly want to say that I'll just want to restrict the time, telling you my agenda. That honestly, you don't have to die in silence.
Yes.
You don't need to actually figure everything out on your own by yourself. If you are struggling, please speak up. Really, you just say something.
Mm-hmm.
The help you actually also need might just be looking around. And if you don't get to actually speak up,
Yes, please let your
don't,
pride
don't be
go.
that man. Please.
Let your pride go and the
Bring your
ego.
ego down.
Yeah.
Because I remember I have a friend, a very close friend of mine. At any point in time, he's going through anything. He can call me anytime. And honest thing, I've known him to be like that, and I will never see his call and not
Ignore
speak
it.
up. Because I know once
You
I'm
call.
seeing his call like that,
There's something that that's the kind of
we need to talk.
that's the kind of world that we want.
It might just be this is just some the discussion might just be like something is just going to he's not expecting the solution from me.
But he just
But
wants
he
to
just
talk.
wants to
He just wants
just
to
wants
talk.
someone to talk to and
That's
fine,
good. That's
and I'm okay to
we
do that.
we
And
just hope that we have a better world like that where we have men look up to boys look up to men, and then we create a safer space, because when we have responsible men, we get less negative comments about them. And this all of this we have said is just to say that we should continue to celebrate our men, continue to appreciate them, and recognize that their role is important in our community, and it is very beneficial to the progress of our community at large. We at Clarion College, we appreciate all our male staff we love you, we see you, we appreciate all your efforts. Mr. Williams, Temiloluwa, Mr. Tochukwu, Mr. Tade, Mr. David, Mr. Kazim, and our Oga Kotakota, Mr. Ugo, Mr. Tega in the Port Harcourt office. We love you, we celebrate you all so much, and we wish you happy International Men's Day. And we hope that we continue to celebrate you, men and boys, and we hope that the respect, the connection that that we have, will continue to bring peace to our society at large. Happy International Men's Day. Happy International. We're supposed to say it together. 1, 2, ready, go. Happy International Men's Day.